myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single.
Here's the drive to left. That one is long gone.
Welcome to the Long Gone episode, season 6.
What?
With me, is S-Man.
What up?
Steve Ford.
How's it going, man?
Season 6, dude.
Yeah, did you miss me?
Yeah, I felt like we haven't done the pod in a while, even though it's only been a week.
Yeah, I know. Became a Michigan fan. How dare you?
Yeah, dude. I was wondering when you were going to mention that. It was like, so my mom got it for me, I think for my birthday. And then she commented like how I've never wore it. And I'm like, I was a laundry day. I'm like, oh, fucking put it on.
You're like, all right, fucking, I'm putting it on.
Yeah. I had to throw on a hat
That's
just
all
to feel something, just feel like a man.
They got a
No,
good
I don't hate
basketball
Michigan
team.
that bad.
Yeah.
I don't dislike as much as Steve.
I'm learning to like only because my niece goes there now.
Yeah, there
so
you go.
I'm kind of forced to. I mean, I did have family go there in the past.
Yeah.
But now that I have someone actually going there now, it's like
It's a little more bearable.
I got to shower every time I cheer for them. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've learned to. It's funny we're just talking about Michigan. Let's do it.
Welcome to season 6.
No, it's with Michigan, it's it's Michigan, so I support the state. I think if anybody wins in the state is a win, right? So let's not look at this as a Wolverine shirt, but a go fan of the state of Michigan.
Ooh, good spin on
Thanks,
it. I'll
man.
take it.
I got the 906.
Yeah, you're rocking the Yooper Dooper right there. That's really nice.
Yeah, I'm all in, man. I felt like I fell into a fucking gift shop because I got more Yooper hats coming in the mail.
Do you really?
Yeah, I felt like I just fell into. Remember we went to that shipwreck museum? I felt like I fell into one of those bins.
Nice.
And came out.
Start opening up your own shop at your house.
Yeah, just a bunch of merch.
Come see the merch.
Well, is that Long Gone merch? No, it's just UP merch.
We can't get that yet, but we got some 906. All right.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Gotta send you that bobblehead still of the of Bigfoot.
Yeah. Dude, I'm actually really looking forward to that bobblehead because that was one of the ones that was really cool. Because as you know, I mean, when you and I went to that shipwreck museum, kind of going back to it, remember how many Bigfoot signs we seen? It's
all
like
over the place.
Yeah, I felt like that's the mascot of the UP. It
really
insane.
is, and the pasty, and he's holding a pasty. So.
I know whoever created that had to have spent some time in the UP, or it's from the UP.
And he's standing on the UP, which makes
dude, it's
cool.
great. I can't wait for the fucking bobblehead. I'll pay for the shipping because I want that thing.
I'll pay
That's
for
gonna
the
make a guest appearance on the show.
Yeah, dude, we both have them. They can talk to each other. It'd be great.
Yeah. When you finish your opening song, all of a sudden it cuts to me and it's just the bobblehead in my seat.
Just the bobblehead sitting there by the mic.
And I'm talking, and I give it a little Yooper accent.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, boys.
Oh my gosh.
Here we are, season 6. Guess what happened in the news, Steve? Absolutely fucking nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Wait, didn't we have a couple, within another Japanese player sign?
Yeah, Okamoto signed with the Blue Jays, which basically means people are scared that Bichette's probably not going to sign. The dude plays first and third. I don't think that really. They're saying because they signed him for a little bit more money than they thought, so they might lose out on Bichette. I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
I
don't think so.
You're leading me in the free agent signing predictions by one. Yeah.
By one. Okay.
By one
Starting
right
to see
now.
A little bit. I mean, there's still a lot of black in here. I'm looking at.
A lot, dude. There's a lot left. I think the winner, the one that pulled you ahead of me, was Haseon. No, was it Haseon? Yeah, Haseon Kim. Your Haseon Kim prediction going to the Braves was a good one, dude. That landed pretty hard. Yeah.
I just had to listen to the universe just told me what to do on that one.
The old baseball gods.
The old baseball gods were smiling down on me. But speaking of, you should have heard the rumors. Guess who once again is rumored to sign another big free agent? The Pirates. Ooh. They're rumored to be in on Suarez.
Swarley?
Yeah, old Swirls. Yeah.
No way.
Do you think Pirates PR is just paying people, just like,
Yes.
all right, just dangle our team out there just to show we care, all
Hey,
right?
somebody had to say it.
Yeah.
I totally think that's it because they're trying to keep Paul Skeens. His contract, they're going to have to start paying him pretty soon. And it's looking like he'll probably leave, which it's inevitable. But at the same time, they're like, we got to make it look like we're trying to compete. So who's the most hollow free agent we can get? Okay, we'll get a super Bo Bichette. No. He's too young and too expensive. We need somebody who put up gaudy numbers and is cheap. Eno Sarris, bingo. But we're not going to buy in. We're just going to say we're going to do it.
We're just going to dangle our toes in the water, all right?
Yeah.
Put a little bobber in there for a little fishing. It's going to be a catch and release, okay? We're not actually going to keep it, all right?
Exactly. You're going to pull a Arizona Cardinals. They had a guy work out this year, and they gave him an invite, via mail, and when they paid him, they took the postage out of his paycheck.
Are you kidding?
I swear to God, I just heard that story from my dad like an hour ago. Couldn't believe it. I was like, what a cheap bastard.
That's unbelievable. Wow. Cheap bucks.
Yeah, very cheap, very cheap. Another piece of news that was interesting, which makes no sense, is so the Toronto Blue Jays make it to the World Series, right? And Don Mattingly's like, hey, at least I got to make one. I'm going to step back. I taught John Schneider all I can do. Think I'm going to step back and spend some time with family and just step away from baseball. And then now he's the bench coach for the Phillies. Like, what happened?
I saw that. It's like, all right, I'm going to go focus on family. Brinks truck rolls up.
Yeah.
Might have a chance at another World Series. Nah, man. You know what? You son of a bitch, I'm in.
That's 100% it, bro. He's ring hopping. He's trying to get a World Series before he retires. Officially.
He's like Kenny Loft and circa the late 90s into the 2000s. Everybody's bouncing from team to team.
This one's got to work, right?
This one's got to work, right? Yankees, Giants.
Yeah.
You're picking wrong, buddy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I feel like there's so many players in every sport that do that. They're just like trying to ring hop. They're like, all right, these guys look like they can win it this year.
And who was it? Was it Jock Peterson or that? Didn't someone get it like a three-peat or something?
Yeah, it was Jock. I think Jock was in there because
at least back to back with two different teams.
Right. I mean, with Texas, and then was it with the Braves in Texas or was it with Braves like and that. Dodgers? Might have been. He
Dodgers. Bounced around and kept showing up in the World Series.
I know. I was like, Jock, what are we doing? Well, and there was another guy too, Ben Zobrist. Remember him?
Oh, yep.
Remember he was with KC. Then he was like, and then he shows back up on another team, or he was with he's with the Cubs, Royals, then Cubs. And was like, what's Ben Zobrist doing here again?
Just farting around.
And then he ended up back on the Astros in 17. It's like, is this guy just jumping around? What are we doing?
He's just making his rounds, all right?
Yeah, he's just trying to win it.
Oh my god!
But yeah, dude, not a lot of baseball news. I mean, at all, really.
No.
I mean,
we got 2 weeks from today. We're recording here on the evening of the 6th. As the Hall of Fame results will be in.
That'll be a big one.
Which
Don't
is a turd sandwich. We talked about the ballot before. There's no real big names on there.
Yeah.
Could be a definitely chance of a swing and a miss on this one.
I kind of hope there is. I don't really think anybody's really
worthy of it.
Yeah. I mean, not for a little bit, right?
Nope. So we got that, but other than that, it's been kind of quiet. I guess your boy Justin Henry Malloy got traded for cash.
Yeah, he got traded for cash. I didn't realize I didn't realize that the Tigers just wanted to get rid of him. I knew they did.
Yeah, Tigers kicked him to the curb, tossed him aside like a used condom.
Well, all the comments on Twitter were like, "Watch him go pull an Isaac Paredes and just go nuts." I even posted that on Twitter. I'm like, now it's time for him to blow up.
Yep.
It's going to happen too.
But yeah, that's the curse. Anytime we trade with the Rays, it seems to work out in the Rays' favor.
Every time, dude.
Case in point, like you said, Isaac Paredes, and we got the corpse of Meadows.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they know how to find talent. I mean, that's just what they do. Another just a bigger piece of news, I guess, rounding this out, is I don't know if Vegas really wants the A's.
I saw that. The trademarks.
They made it so hard for them just to get a land deal to break ground. Okay, that I think they were like, dude, we really don't want the A's here. And then suddenly now it's like, okay, now the trademark deal. Yeah, you're not going to be the Las Vegas A's. You're not going to be the Las Vegas Athletics.
Athletics.
What are we doing? Why? I don't think Vegas. I mean, they're not helping them at all. like do
No.
anything.
No. So you're telling me that the Athletics are gonna be a nomad and just bounce from city to city for the next bit
I think
until
that's
they
their
can
best
find a
shot.
home?
I mean, this is a great time for them to just rebrand, but it kind of sucks
Mhm.
because if they do officially move to Vegas, then they're just not going to be the A's anymore, and the A's will cease
Yeah.
to exist. You know,
The A's will die.
that's
You
yeah,
know that yeah, that sucks.
yeah. We'll have to end up pouring one out for them, I guess, but
Yeah, yeah.
it is what it is.
I will remember you.
This year, let's look back at 25 one more time, Steve. We do this every year. You and I pick our top 3 to 1. We
Yeah.
say, what do we think was the best part of 25 in the MLB season? And there were some
Mhm.
good moments, some shocking moments, some not cool moments,
Mhm.
some great moments. And I mean, Steve, if you want to kick it off, man, just say all 3 of them, man. I mean, this is this is technically we can consider this our New Year's show because it's our first of the
It's
year.
our first one of the year.
It's always
Yep.
our premieres at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I kind of want to hear what you really kind of looking back on what your best moments of 25 were.
Well, not the Tigers blowing the lead in the AL Central. That
Oh,
one
I thought
fucking
that was gonna be
blows.
one.
But speaking of a Tiger, it would be number 3 for me is Tarek Skubal, solidifying himself as the best or one of the best. You know, you count Paul Skeens kind of as 1 and 1A pitchers in baseball with his second straight Cy Young Award. Dominant again. Coming up here on his last year of team control. I don't know if you've noticed, he's really been making the Detroit rounds here recently.
Yeah,
Going to a lot of outings, posting a lot of Detroit stuff on social media.
He
Basically
wants-
his way of saying, come on, I want to stay.
he really wants to
And
stay.
and Tiger management being like, whatever.
Yeah.
But just another great performance by Skubal, back-to-back Cy Young Awards. Just a fantastic year for him. Number 2 would be the legend of Ohtani.
Yeah.
Becoming the first pitcher with I remember watching this game with a multi-homer game in the playoffs. So he started the game and also, played offense. And it was, I think, game 4 of the NLCS against the Phillies. And, got two homers in the game. I mean, just absolutely unbelievable. Great on the mound and did it offensively as well. I mean, we're truly watching a one of the all-time greats here unfold before our eyes here. So yeah, the legend of Ohtani comes in for me at number 2. And the number 1, I mean, I took out just one game, but just that World Series in general between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. I honed in on Game 7 because Game 7 had everything. I mean, I had the Blue Jays jumping out to a lead. I had them trying to hold on for dear life and becoming 2 outs away from winning the World Series and arguably probably one of the biggest upsets in postseason history. And then Miguel Rojas tied up the game, took it to extras, and then Will Smith in the 11th took it home for the Dodgers. But just a great kind of back and forth game and just a great series in general. I mean, I know you and me, especially me, going into this, I didn't think that the Blue Jays really stood a chance against the Dodgers.
didn't
I think I said Dodgers in like 5 maybe, but it ended up being a fantastic series and a good resurgence of, people falling in love with the Blue Jays all over again. So, number 1 for me was Game 7 in the World Series to close out the season.
Great picks. I mean, ours are pretty similar and kind of where we're going. I mean, big moments, big players. My number 3, the emergence of Nick Kurtz.
Nice.
I think this is one of the better rookies in a long time. It also proves that players can fly through the minor leagues. I said that about Nolan Shanuel. I said that about a few people who sometimes, this is more a testament to college baseball, that guys who come from college baseball are more pro ready than we think. Not all of them are ready to go, right? I mean, some of them need some time, of course, but they're guys who are just pro ready. Right. And looking at Nick Kurtz, I knew he would fly through the minors. I didn't think it would take pretty much less than a year. I didn't think that. I thought it would be at least 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, he came up and he was a star. I mean, he came out swinging big, and then there was this lull, and then he came back, which won him Rookie of the Year, 290 average, 36 dingers, 86 ribs, 122 hits overall. Looking at him, I think one thing I love is the A's finally found their star since losing Chapman and Olsen, right?
Yep.
And they thought Blade was going to be that guy. They thought a few people were going to be that guy, but This is somebody that they can actually fill the stands with, and especially if you're moving to Vegas or Vegas wants you to. If you're going to do that, I think this is Nick Kurtz is just a prime all the way. Number 2 for me, I went with Big Dumper.
Nice.
One, because I found out his nickname this season, which was awesome. I think it's a total unfortunate nickname because I don't think I'd want to have anything to do with shit. You know what I mean? Like Big Dumper.
Dumps.
Just sounds like he takes huge shit, dude. Like what? I don't want to be known for that. But we read the tea leaves. We knew this guy would be special. We didn't know what kind of special, but we knew that he was going to be a fixture in Seattle's plans long term, especially when they moved on from Ty France and Cal Raleigh emerged. I always thought that they were kind of the same player, and I couldn't have been more wrong. I mean, Cal Raleigh is a completely different player, a lot more power. Ended the year with 60 home runs, 125 ribs, and you're talking about a guy who broke the all-time catcher's single season home run record, which is huge, and I think that's a big moment. I think coming into this year, when you and I ask, when we do our segments later, future shows from now, where we say, what are some things we need the answers to coming into the season? Well, that's probably going to be one of them. Is it a flash in the pan, or was this something where he's going to carry on being the new Johnny Bench of baseball?
Right.
And it's going to be interesting to see, because if the power isn't there anymore, then I'm going to say steroids. But I want to know how many steroids tests he got during the season.
He had to be a lot. I mean,
had to.
Yeah, a lot.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know about weekly, but
I know players don't talk about it, but I would love to know how many tests he had to do in the season. So, and it's a catcher, which I love that position. I think it's just really cool that he's like the new face of catching. So number 2 is that. Number 1 is kind of very much similar to yours, is you got to go back to that World Series. And that was a World Series that had a lot of different firsts, a lot of different stories. And it was a picturesque World Series, right? I mean, you had Canada versus USA. You had a classic team in the Dodgers who are going for a dynasty versus the Blue Jays, who haven't been there since '93, the Joe Carter-led team, right? And it's like the rebuild versus the All-Star team. I mean, there's so many stories. One of the potentially greatest players in the game, in Shohei Ohtani, versus Vlad Jr., one of the most best international prospects there ever was, like Ohtani. So, I mean, there was just so many cool storylines there. And to me, that was just, the Dodgers ended up winning it, becoming a dynasty. The Blue Jays drove it to Game 7, which was really fun. And then, to me, it just proved that the Blue Jays rebuild has paid off. And it was just good. I'm very happy and very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very grateful that we got to have a World Series like that, because I think everybody was rooting for the Blue Jays. We didn't really care, because I know you and I like the Dodgers. I think we really wanted the Blue Jays to, we wanted Don Mattingly to win one.
For sure.
Right. And then Vlad establishing himself as the next superstar by winning one would have been huge. But it's going to be interesting. And they're not dismantling the team. I mean, there's guys that are leaving, but the core of the group is basically there. If they re-sign Bichette, which I think they will, as much as I want to see him in Tigers uniform, Steve, that'd be nice. I think they know they need to sign that guy. That guy was a part of their rebuild. I mean, he was a huge part of it. He was the Robin to Vlad's Batman.
Longer it takes, it starts leaving me to wonder what the hell's going on here.
I think Bo wants more money than the Blue Jays thought, because I think because everybody is getting $300+ million contracts for this kind of ball player, and I think he doesn't want a Javier Baez contract. He wants a Manny Machado contract. Does he deserve it? No, I don't think he's worth that much. I don't think anybody is.
Right.
He's not worth Juan Soto money. We both know that.
No.
But I do think he is worth near 300. And I think that's what the holdup is right now, if I were to guess. So
yeah, I agree with that.
So that's my number 1, man. That's my number 1.
Yeah, man. That's good. Good. Always good to look back on the year that was, and look forward to this year, especially as we know at the end of the rainbow here comes most likely a work stoppage. So we got to cherish this coming year while we can. So I always love looking back at the past year, and now we'll start looking forward to the new year. So
yeah, because this might be the last one for a while.
For a while.
Our show might transition from Major League Baseball to like college baseball.
Seriously.
It's like, oh my God.
I'd have to look back because we had a work stoppage for a bit during one of our years here. And I'd have to look back at what we did during those. I think we did a lot of countdowns.
You had a lot of different songs about there not being any baseball.
Oh, yeah.
It was getting desperate when it was kind of like, remember we were into what should have been the season?
What should have been the season, yeah.
And we were both kind of like,
What? No?
Yeah, anybody there? You and I actually probably did a record shows of talking about baseball's past.
Yeah, yep.
Than anything.
Yep. Yeah, I think we did our set your lineups and stuff, doing simulated games and counting things down, and just might have to dust that shit off again.
We might have to in the new CBA or the agree, because that's going to get ugly near the end of the season. It's going to be talking about it, so that's going to be interesting. In the meantime, Steve and I have always talked about, in terms of the old game, the way scouts the Moneyball part of the game, which is analytics, versus the old part of the game, which is general scouting. See ball, hit ball. I can see a good player. I know what a good player is. A scout knows what a good player is. But sometimes the analytics tell you more. Well, today, Steve and I, we got a chance to talk to one of my favorite writers for The Athletic. Steve and I, the whole time, we're just kind of like in awe, just listening to this guy.
Listening. He's so knowledgeable.
So knowledgeable. I almost wanted to ask him if he wanted to be a part of our fantasy baseball league, but I'm afraid he would dominate every year. Yeah, we're talking about Eno Sarris, senior writer for The Athletic. Another great interview. We did Jeff Perlman a couple weeks ago. Now I got Eno Sarris, and it was a fun interview, and even more fun, right, Steve? When he said that he does collect a little bit, or he has collected.
Dude, yeah. I mean, that was like at the tail end when we got done with everything we wanted to talk about in regards to analytics, and we were just like, "So you collect?" He's like, "Well, funny you should say that," and he starts busting out his stuff. It's pretty cool to see.
Fuck yeah, dude! It really was. So, guys, enjoy our interview with Eno Sarris. Joining us now, senior writer for The Athletic and co-host of a podcast I love, Rates and Barrels. Welcome, Eno Sarris. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
just to kick things off, analytics is a big part of baseball. How did you first get interested in baseball analytics?
Well, I'm an immigrant. I came to this country in the mid 80s, and baseball was for me a way to become American, or at least to talk to these American kids. I was coming from Germany and Jamaica. And so I got into, like stickball and doing the Julio Franco and doing the Gary Sheffield and collecting cards, frankly. And the cards is where it started, because I realized I wasn't as sentimental about the players, and I used that. I was like, hey, I think this Barry Bonds guy is gonna be pretty good, and I'll trade you my Jeff Blauser and Mark Lemke cards for your Barry Bonds cards. You love Jeff Blauser. He's the starting shortstop for your team. So I built up a decent card collection, and then I got into fantasy, and in the service of winning my fantasy leagues, I read everything that Dave Cameron wrote back at Lookout Landing, his first spot in writing about the Mariners. I read everything that Rob Nyer put out. He used to have a column on ESPN Page 2 where that weird yellow website, he would link out to the best work he'd read, and I would click every link, and I just read every little piece.
Now, with your just touching real quick on the fantasy baseball aspect, how do you do in fantasy? Like, how many championships have you won? Like, Steve and I are in this like heated battle where we're like both won like 3 or 4 in the last like 15 years. Where you stand?
Yeah, I mean, my average finish last year was 4th out of 15. So I'm always near the top. I won the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational, my league, and I was 3rd overall out of, I don't know, 600 plus, mostly writers and analysts in fantasy baseball. So that was a decent one last year. And I was in this league called AL Labor, League of Alternate Baseball Reality. It was started by Keith Olbermann and people in the 70s, I think the late 70s. And I have the points record in that, the all-time points record. I have the best team that's ever been had in that league, that's been around for 50 years. So I have some good heights. I would say that I don't have, like, I play in this thing called NFC, the National, I don't know what it stands for, National Fantasy Championship. And it's decent buy-ins. It's pretty expensive. It's really motivated players, and they know what they're doing. And I don't have a signature win in that yet. I think one thing that really hurts me is I publish.
Okay.
And so, if you're coming up on your pick, if there's 2 or 3 guys ahead of you, they can just, he looks like he needs a pitcher.
Yeah.
Let me look at his rankings. Oh, I think if I want that guy, I better take him now. So, I've definitely seen, I've even been in rooms where like 4 or 5 guys in the league are like, oh, Eno's here. I love your stuff. You're like, oh, crap. Shit.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's great.
Who's your go-to? Because, like, I always have these 2 guys that have been my go-to that have kind of carried me along. Mookie Betts and Nolan Arenado. And then in recent years, they've been shit, man. It just hasn't been the same since. So do you have any guys like that in your team where you're like, I got to draft this guy. He's my golden goose. He's always going to help me out. Even if he doesn't do great sometimes, at least I can count on him to kind of pull me through.
No, I think I gotta move quicker than that. But I did have Mookie up there for a long time. I remember early on, Chipper Jones was that dude for me. Yeah. He has always had that, like, Frank Thomas-esque, like, 300 batting average, 400 OBP, 500 slugging, just like really good player all around. But I went on a nice run with Manny Machado there for a while too.
Nice.
But I try not to fall in love, because every time you get into a new room, there are new rules, there are new settings, there are different people, you're in a different slot. I play 15 to 20 leagues a year.
I have trouble keeping up with 2.
Yeah. Whoa. Are they all pay leagues, or there's some free in there?
Oh, there's some free, and it's a mix. And I try to mix, like, I don't know, 5 of them might be draft and holds, which are types of leagues where you don't have to do that much. You just have to set your lineup. You don't have to, you're not picking up free agents. I try to also mix it up between picking up free agents on Sunday once a week, or, having a rolling pickup. Because if it's all one type of league, then you're just like, hey, see you guys later. See family. Sunday at 1 o'clock. I gotta go spend like 6 hours downstairs doing lineups. So they already hate how much I'm on the phone and having to deal with, oh my God, I gotta go pick this guy up and stuff like that. But I try to keep that to a minimum, and I've been fairly successful so far. Like, I haven't become a beat writer. Beat writers have to be on the road 2 to 3 times as much as I am. I haven't turned into a newsbreaker like Ken Rosenthal. He has to on his phone like all the time. So some of the choices I've made in my career have made my work-life balance all right.
Can I have a couple analytical questions, and Steve does too, but one thing that, when you came on and we were kind of talking to social media for a brief second, how has your approach to what you write kind of, like, how does your approach differ now that, because you do have I think you have a big social media presence on X, and I've been following you for a long time on that. Is it different than how it used to be before? They'd leave the little comments on the bottom of your articles. Now you can just engage with everybody right there who has a problem with what you write, or whether they love you or what. Does does that get exhausting? I guess I want to say, because now you got to almost
yeah.
appeal to your fans, to your writing.
Yeah, that gets exhausting. I mean, I try to push people. I like the Discord that we've set up for Rates and Barrels. It's pretty robust, and it's way more just like nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like it's more cordial and like respectful. But I can't quit it. First of all, because I'm like a news junkie and a action junkie. I love talking about things. I love debating things. So I'm always going to be on there. And then I owe my career to it. Honestly, like when I was starting out, I was writing in a bunch of different places. And the one thing that I was reachable on social media and available for debate. So, and discussion. So it's also a place where I see other pieces. I just saw a piece on social media today that we're talking about where if you're adding to a real life lineup and you have great slugging already, it looks like adding on base percentage is more effective than adding more slugging, which counters some of the research that's been done recently. So I just saw that because I saw some people talking about stuff on X. So I just I think it's a valuable thing, and I just have to deal with it. And in terms of how my writing approach to writing has changed, it has changed a lot. When I started at Fangraphs, I could write about anything I wanted at any time, and so I would write about this weird reliever with a weird arm slot, or sliders move differently to one side of the plate than the other. I don't know. I had a lot of freedom, and I came up with a lot of interesting things that I go back to a lot and that have informed my analysis going forward. And I stand by all of it, but I'm just in a different part of my career now with The Athletic. The Athletic wants bigger pieces. They need to be, they need to shape the conversation. These are the kind of things I hear. They need to be polished. In terms of the visuals that I put up there, I can't just play around in Tableau or in Excel and just put something up. It has to be New York Times worthy in terms of the visuals, which is a blessing and a curse. The blessing part of it is I have people who work on my pieces who like do really cool visuals and can do things that I could never do. And so I've done some pieces in recent light where they've used the full capabilities of the New York Times to demonstrate certain things that I wanted to write about. And that's really cool. So the flip side of it is sometimes the piece takes 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or, I don't get to write about the little things. So those little things sometimes end up more on social media or in my podcast.
Oh, cool. Just looking at modern metrics and all that, what modern metrics do you think are most useful for evaluating players, and why? So like exit velo, spin rate, things like that. What do you think's the most useful?
Who comes out with a big near go?
I think barrel rate is for hitters. I think it's kind of simple. Barrel rate and like swing strike rate or strikeout rate. You put those two together, you're making contact, you're hitting the ball real hard. In barrel rate is one of the most predictive stats. It's basically an exit velocity stat, but it's, do you hit the ball hard in the air? And it's one of the most predictive power stats, part of why it's in the name of my podcast, Rates and Barrels. And so I think that one's easy. On the pitching side, another simple one, really, strikeouts minus walks. I helped create Stuff Plus, which looks at velo and shape, and I think it's really useful. But at some point, 5 starts into a player's career, strikeouts minus walks is basically the best thing you can look at. It's just controlling the plate, controlling the zone. Once you get past that into 5, 6, 7 years of a career, then there's other things that you can look at. So there's, in terms of how much data do I have? Am I looking at a guy who's just come into the big leagues? Actually, if I'm looking at a guy who just debuted and I only have 1 game, then I care about pitch velocity and bat speed.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. If I have 2 games, I care about Stuff Plus and bat speed. If I have 5 games, I start talking, then I start looking at, some other stuff for pitchers. But for hitters, it takes to leave bat speed behind and move to like barrel rate, it takes 3-4 weeks.
You know, I know you're probably going to hate talking about this next one just because you probably hear about it a lot, but I've always been conflicted about the WAR stat, and you know, I think there's some pros and some cons to the WAR stat. Where do you stand on the WAR stat? Do you think it's kind of an imperfect metric of how do we analyze a player? I've always been, because I do some freelance baseball writing too, and I've just, in my research, I've always just, I don't know, I just have like a love-hate relationship with the WAR stat. Where do you stand overall, I guess, on the WAR stat? Is it something you like to rely on, or do you just kind of get tired of talking about it and seeing it?
It's a starting point for me. I think it's really important because there's no other real framework for putting everything that a player does on the field into one place. And so I will definitely use it to group players, to bucket them, to start thinking about the Hall of Fame. I think the flaws are twofold. One, on the hitting side, you know, I think that recent defensive metrics are decent and good. And so since 2020, WAR at Fangraphs has had StatCast defensive numbers in it.
Yeah.
Which I think are pretty much the best in the game. And so recent WAR has a better sense of defense. You're looking at 1980s players and their defensive numbers.
Yeah.
I think you have to be careful. You just have to. Does this align with what people said about the player defensively, what they thought of him? Did he win some Gold Gloves, stuff like that? I know the Gold Glove voting is fraught with its own problems, but so the defensive part, I think it has to be valued. I think that it's also maybe the weakest. And then some of that's just structural. If you think about a hitter, he comes to the plate 650 times. And those 650 times, he can really affect the outcome a lot. He's the hitter. He's, you know, the pitcher is affecting it too, but he has a lot of effect on that. A defender may get 250 chances in the field in a year. And of those 250 chances, all but 50 of them may either be you had no chance or that was easy as heck. And so we're evaluating guys on maybe 1/10 of the data in any given season. So that's one thing. And then on the pitching side, I don't really like any of the WARs.
Okay.
I'll look at them somewhat at the beginning of a Hall of Fame argument. I have a way of looking at. I vote often for the Cy Young. I basically, what I do is I take all of the pitching WARs and mush them together in my own little model because they've made fundamental decisions that are different from pitching WAR to pitching WAR, and I don't know if any of them are right. Like Fangraphs is like, it's just homers, strikeouts, and walks. That's what the pitchers can control, and that's it. You go to Baseball Perspective, and it's all the way the other way. Baseball Perspective is like, we've controlled for the umpire, the weather, if a cat farted, you know, like everything.
Yeah.
All the way down to like, and I'm like, you know, the pitcher didn't decide any of that. You know, like the quality of competition thing. It's like, I ended up voting for Skubal over Crochet, even though it was very close and Crochet faced better lineups.
Yeah.
Partially because I was like, it's not like Skubal was like, I will pitch against the bad guys.
Yeah.
I want to pitch against the Guardians. It's you pitch the day they give you the ball. So, and then Baseball Reference is sort of in between where it has defense. I don't know that I like the adjustment. So I just add it all up and add up what actually happened on the field. But you cannot just take what actually happened on the field and say that's what the pitcher did, because every ball in play is affected by their teammates.
That's right. Yeah.
So I don't know that I have a perfect answer on this one. Pitching WAR is definitely more sus than hitting WAR. And I just try to find my way to the truth through the middle of all of them somewhere.
Looking at smaller market versus a bigger market, how do you think smaller market teams compensate when they don't have quite the same analytic budget as bigger market clubs?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I know I've talked to one analyst for a really cheap team that said that sometimes we just watch what they do and just do it. So all the Astros just set up a certain way at the plate where they put the bat up and touch their shoulder and then like went up from that.
Yeah.
And they just told all their hitters, yeah, just set up that way.
Just do that. Okay.
Oh,
Don't know. It's a
Okay.
problem because you don't know why. You don't know
Right.
what you're doing. You don't know why you're doing it, but you're copying it. And to some extent, that's what the league does, because you can look around, you see, oh, the Dodgers are really into sweepers. The Yankees are really into sweepers. Now the Mariners are teaching everybody in the minor league sweepers. So other teams are like, hey, what's this sweeper all about?
Yeah.
So copying is one way. Another way is actually what I've learned is give the fewer guys that you have more autonomy.
Okay.
So you basically put your trust in fewer people. And so like a Dodgers department will have many more people, but they'll be working on specific little things that are sort of siloed from everybody else. They won't necessarily have the ability to just take that and take it all the way into player evaluation and then turn it into pick up this player. They'd just be like, I produced this little thing. And somebody, their manager comes along and goes, oh, that's an interesting thing. Maybe I put in the model or maybe I don't or whatever,
Yeah.
Whereas, I talked to analysts on the Athletics, and there'd be like 2 of them or 3 of them. And
Yeah.
if they spotted something they thought was undervalued in the market, they could come up with a list of players that they thought, should be acquired for this. And then they'd be all of a sudden talking to David Forst about, hey, I think we should pick up these guys. And it's really cool for them because they're like, I'm more directly affected. I can see what my work on the field every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that can lead to some good things and some bad things. I mean, you got more sort of ducks in one basket. You have more eggs in one basket. If you have a bad analyst who doesn't know what he's doing, then that's not good. But if you have a good one and he's on his way to somewhere else and he's going to be a GM someday and he's just brilliant, he could just power your team for like 5 years or whatever before he gets that recognition.
I know the Rockies are finally, some fans are excited, some don't know what to feel, but with that new hire of the Paul DePodesta, when you hear his name, tracks back to Moneyball. And I feel with talking with some Rocky fans, they feel, okay, we finally have a direction. It's an analytical approach potentially, because that's what his name stands for. But do you see it working that way with the Rockies? Do you see that like, okay, this hire indicates this might be a new horizon above, or do you think it's just still the bumbling circus act that we've been seeing with the Rockies for a little bit now?
Well, I guess I'll believe it when I see it, because I do think that DePodesta was an interesting hire, and I was like, well, the Browns sucked, so like, what was he doing over there? But I talked to somebody who knew a little bit more about the situation than I did, and he said that the Browns actually have what's widely considered in football is like basically the second best analytics department, maybe to the Ravens, and that the Browns have actually been poached in their analytics department in the front office, even though their record has been mediocre. So that means I think he's going to invest in these things. He cares about these things. His first statements have been about analytics and data and tech and all that stuff. His first hire, Josh Burns, away from the Dodgers is probably a smart hire on that regard. He's been watching one of the best teams in terms of processes in the big leagues. But I also know that the last two of the last 3 R&D departments quit en masse, just as a group in March. That's not when people quit. That's like a huge warning sign. You don't quit in baseball in March. You quit in November when you can get a new job.
Yeah.
You just suffer through because there's so few jobs. You just suffer through until November. But something was so bad about what they were asked to do, how they were asked to work, whether or not anyone was listening to them. I'm talking about the autonomy that you might have in the A's.
Yeah.
If no one's listening, you don't want to do it. Why would I
Uh-huh.
create this report? Why would I do this? Why would I come up with this research if no one cares?
Yeah.
And that seems to be something that might come from the ownership level, because it was literally 2 straight R&D departments were just like, I'm out.
Jeez. Wow.
And it's not just like one guy, well, not just like the
whole
director, like everybody.
They're all
I know
out.
one guy who was working for them who no longer works in baseball. Just he was like, no,
Done.
and just left.
Whoa, they killed it for him. They're like,
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
he has a lot to overcome in that regard. You know, these 2 hires are significantly different from their last hires. They did a lot of hiring from within, and this looks different. But do these 2 people have the ability to fire people? Do they have the ability to hire R&D departments that will actually change what's happening on the field? I heard that until 2 years ago, if you were a minor leaguer on the Rockies, you paid for your own athletic tape.
Are you serious?
whoa,
Holy crap.
whoa.
So there's a lot. They got a lot of work to do.
God. Talk about nickel and diamond right there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's as bad as the Moneyball A's.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
just
couple more-
fill our Coke machine, please. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just back. Yeah, we have a couple more questions for you, and then we'll go. But Steve, if you have another question for him,
Yeah. Just going through all your years of writing and reporting, have you ever seen a player alter their approach based on what you've reported? And if so, can you give an example of that?
Oh yeah, I've actually sort of talked to players about what I thought. Yeah, a couple of
Okay.
players have asked me what I thought.
Yeah.
Andrew Haney, like when he was part of that Angels team that was kind of famously anti-analytics, the Mike Scioscia, you know, when Jerry DiPodesto just like left because he was like, no one's listening to me.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
That at that point, I was talking to Andrew Haney. I did like a little interview, and at the end of it, he sort of pulled me back and said, like, tell me about spin rate, you know, and tell me about my pitches and how they interact. And I thought that was interesting. And I'm not sure that it turned Andrew Haney into a great player, but like, you know, we've had a good rapport ever since. And, you know, that was an interesting moment. And another one was, Yonder Alonso reached out to me through his agent, and he was like, "Hey, just like look me up, like analyze me, look at the different stats you've got, and like let's hop on the phone and just give me, you know, 15 minutes of like what you would do if you were my coach." And that was the year before he hit 35 homers.
Jeez.
Which he'd hit like 30 homers in his career before that date.
Yeah.
So, and it landed him a contract with the Guardians, and we're forever friends because of it. So
That's cool.
I don't want to take full credit because he was doing he was already doing a lot of the work, and he's like, okay, this lines up with what I'm thinking too. And I just wanted to kind of affirm that that's what, you know, the analytics said I should do. But, you know, he was a ground ball guy. And I was like, I think you just need to set your sights a little higher. Like if you've been trying to hit ground, like line drives up the middle your whole life, like just aim over the second baseman's head. Like, you know, just try to put a little bit more loft into it and see what that intention. It's really interesting because since then we've done a lot of research on what's the best way to coach players. And what we've found is that to go away from internal cues to more external cues. So it's better to tell a kid like hit it over there, or like, you know, when I'm throwing live EP to my kids, I say hit it over my ear, like hit it. I want you to pull side, you know, like kill the coach is a joke. I say hit dad, you know, and I think that's been an effective cue. So me just giving him an external one and not saying like, oh, I think you should dip your shoulder more or do this or that. That wasn't even my place. Even, you know, I was just like, I see the ground ball rate. If there's any way you can, you know, shave that, you know, you have you have the batted ball distances of someone who has some power, but you're not getting it in the air enough. And then the other thing I pointed out to him was a way to kind of manipulate the stats is that UZR, the defensive metric in war at the time, this goes back to our last conversation. It was funny. UZR was the defensive component of war at the time, and they did not use any information from foul balls.
Oh.
And he was the A's first baseman. And they had got this incredible amount of foul yardage there, you know? And so he'd been playing really close to the line. But there's two things going on here. First of all, UZR, which is a part of the public war, one of the public wars, did not give him any credit for any of those outs that he's making in foul ground. So, you know, it's that he had the worst defensive numbers of his career the year before in Oakland. So I was like, just to manipulate those public numbers, take a step off the line.
Yeah.
But then there's also an analytical component, which is that if you drop a foul ball, it's still a strike. So if you've watched some of the best defensive first basemen, Joey Votto knew about this. I think he may have even stepped even a little bit closer after our conversations about it. But if you can turn a ball in play into an out, it's way better. You should be able to drop 2 foul balls to turn a single into an out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because those 2 foul balls are still strikes.
Right. Yeah.
They haven't turned in anything bad. You know, they just continue. They give the pitcher leverage still. You know, but that single is bad. Now you got a guy on first. So he took a step or 2 off the line. His defensive numbers improved, and he had a bunch of homers.
Wow.
That's cool.
Last one here. Who's the one sleeper breakout guy in 2025 you believe in more than the projection systems?
I think it might be Jack Caglione.
Ooh.
Okay. You just got a guy with tremendous pedigree, first round pick. Everyone loved him. Everyone said he was going to be great. His swing stats say he's got elite bat speed. You know, Nick Kurtz came up with a much more kind of lofty Ohtani Judge swing, and Jack Caglione's a little bit flatter.
Mm-hmm.
But Jack Caglione makes a ton of contact, and I think that hurt him. So he made a bunch of contact that he probably shouldn't even swung at.
Wow.
So I just think he needs to dial in his approach just a little bit, and then you're going to see there's a lot of similarities between his swing and like a Junior Camaneros. So, you know, there's a lot of good stuff going on under the hood. The projections say, oh, he didn't do well in his rookie season. He still doesn't have that much sample. I'm going to dial it all down and say he's going to hit, you know, 230 with 18 homers or something. I think this is a guy who could hit 25, 30 homers and have a good batting average. So
Still collect cards, you know?
yeah.
Oh,
Cards.
understatement.
But I have a different approach now because the kids haven't like jumped on it the same way I did. So I pretend I'm buying them boxes so my wife doesn't notice.
I like it. I like the approach.
That's awesome.
And they still like the like dopamine hit of like opening the packs.
Mhm.
And then I just take the cards from them and I look up what they're worth and I sleeve them, you know. I put the sleeves on them and
Oh, I love that.
so
Yeah.
I buy like I probably spend like $500-$600 a year, maybe a little bit more. Just, you know, buy 5 or 6 boxes, break the boxes with the kids. Hope that like that one good card. It's like one good card in most boxes. That's what I don't like about collecting now. And you know, a lot of the cards over there, like I have like 5 or 6 signatures, the auto cards,
Mhm.
and the best one is maybe Ryan Clifford.
Ooh.
He's like a first base prospect for the Mets who may be good.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get those prospect cards, it's like
Or a
hit or miss.
Dontrell Willis. I got a Dontrell Willis.
There we go.
I love Dontrell.
Right? With a signature on it.
Not when he was with the Tigers, though.
Yeah.
No. It's
different
but it's
story.
like an old card that he signed and they put into a new package.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't know. It's not quite. There's another thing I hate is like You can see like the like chrome on like the thing on this.
Yeah.
The way that this card just that I'm holding right now, there's probably like 15 different versions of it. Where there'll be like green chrome, pink chrome, you know,
Orange,
mojo
yeah.
chrome, regular chrome.
Steve and I say that because we talk a lot about collecting on our podcast, and you know, just the variations are killing the collecting world, in my opinion.
I can't even figure out how much the card's worth sometimes because I'm like, what kind of chrome is this? I'm like trying to look at the pictures and being like, is this the same chrome?
Is this close? Yep.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Oh, I can't stand the variations. Yeah, and there's so many different series that come out on the same card, and it's insane. I
just like the Bowman chromes because
I do too.
You might get a first card. It's like this might be his first card, and there was just a debate on the Baseball America podcast if they had a draft today, he might go 1-1. So, but the flip side of it is, this was the only good card in a whole Bowman box I bought.
Yeah.
I believe it.
And it's worth like $5.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the box was like $100.
Yep. No, we've done it where when Michael's living down, I'm in Grand Rapids, and when he was still living down here, we would split a hobby box of Topps when it came out, and whoever bought it would get the either relic or autograph that came
hit,
the one hit.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get a hit and be like, oh, great, this is like a relic of Kyle Lewis. Yeah, this is going to work out well. Paid $100 for this box.
I got that. I got that Ricky Henderson signed.
You did. That was cool. It was an auto relic. I think
his auto relic. Yeah.
3 or something, or 1
and
of 4.
I have a friend who does it like more like almost like as a side business. He makes money off of it.
Yeah, the breakers.
But when you make money off of it, it doesn't even look fun to me. Like he just knows how to arbitrage like the different places the cards are sold, and he knows like how much rake like each site takes.
Yeah,
and he like it's all this sort of it's like a betting market thing where he's just like moving things from here to there and like buying 7s of a card that, people are all obsessed with the 10s, but they might buy the 7s will go up in value after the 10s are all sold, in terms of grades and stuff like that. And like, it's all these like tactics where I'm just like, I just want to get like a card. I just want to get like a Joshua Gonzalez's first card, and then like he wins 3 MVPs, and I'm like, I got this motherfucker.
Some of the money in those breaks are crazy. I had a documentary I did that was released this year, and I interviewed a lot of breakers, a lot of online breakers, and they could make some good money. The ones I interviewed for it, they made. I mean, it was like basically.
Do they get better
income.
cards because they buy in bulk and like they get like the manufacturers? Do they manufacturers like fuck around with it and give them better cards? Maybe.
You know what? That's a great question, and I think they do. I think they get first dibs on some of the stuff that they know is going to be good case hits. And some of your biggest breakers will get the dibs
press
on
for
it.
them, right? Because they're doing it on social media, and like they want those guys to like have some good hits.
And I know Topps. Steve and I looked at it. I know Topps hires their own breakers to create their channels, and then they'll give them. They'll know certain cases will hit, and
that's kind of corrupt.
I know.
Topps has their own breakers. Damn.
We used to watch that channel all the time.
I have no hope just buying like $100 box every 2 months. That's why I can't care about it. I'm just more like, it's casual for me.
One of the guys in that documentary, he just had no love for baseball at all. He didn't like hate it. He just didn't care. He wasn't anything with the sport. So when his family,
how does he know when he's getting good cards or whatever?
Well, what happened was he doesn't collect. What happened was he ended up going. His great aunt died, so they were cleaning out her house, and they found some old E90 Ty Cobb, Honus Wagner cards, and they became instant millionaires overnight. It's like that happens to somebody that doesn't care about anything. It's like go figure.
It's usually how it goes.
That's actually the other part is I'm trying to keep this alive for if it's going to be my grandson or if one of my kids changes their mind and kind of gets into it or they just run into money trouble and have to sell it. Whatever it is, it's it's just a thing that I've maintained, and I have like the old Bo Jackson rookies, all the Ken Griffey's. So I have some good cards from when I collected. The newest version I don't really have. My best card is like a Jack Caglione 1 of 50.
That's a great one.
It's pretty good. I don't know.
I scored
I have a Gunnar Henderson of the cards where if you could rip them open.
Yeah.
There's cards inside.
Inside.
Oh,
Yep.
And I didn't rip it open.
Okay.
Don't. The value will stay.
Just leave it.
Yeah.
I know. The Gunnar Henderson himself, the big one, is a 1 of 30 or something.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess my best card is I have a Hank Aaron. I have a Yogi Berra 58.
Dope.
Then I have a bunch of rookies like Ozzie Smith, Ryan Sandberg, Cal
Love
Ripken.
those.
I love the Ozzie Smith rookie.
Yeah.
The Topps one.
I grew up during the junk wax era, and I love a lot of those cards, but they're valueless. They have no value.
Yeah, some of these aren't that valuable, I guess. But they're so cool looking. Like, look at this motherfucker.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah,
I love that's
that
his rookie card. Yeah.
Yep.
When he was with the Padres.
Man.
That's the thing about some baseball cards.
He looks pretty cool in this one.
Oh, that's a good Hank Aaron right there.
Yeah, that's sharp, dude.
Yeah. Since then, I don't know.
We're the
Waiting for
same.
my first big hit. I want to get a good auto of a good rookie. I don't want those Bowman fucking boxes to give me an auto of a good rookie, man. Like, what if I got a Nick Kurtz auto? That would have been awesome.
There's a Junior Caminero 1 of 1 Bowman that is going for over 20 grand right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, I just want one big hit.
I know.
It's like my lotto ticket stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I mean, but I got the Mason Wynn rookie auto from Topps. Was that a couple of years ago? I thought, I mean, I'm still holding out hope for that, but
yeah, that's the other thing. Like, if you do it as a business, you should sell it the minute they debut. You know, but then you don't get to hold it and like root for their whole career. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I have binders that I label for each year, and I think in like 2018, I think I pulled like 3 Ohtani rookies for like variations of different ones. So I'm waiting to grade those and cash those.
But the market is so flooded with Ohtani.
Yeah. Exactly.
I have a Ohtani, his first All-Star game. I got a signed one behind me, and it valued at $1,200. But it keeps going down because it's just so many of the cards.
Flooded.
Yeah, it's just so flooded.
Yep. And they like so many variations. Like I said, I have 3 different.
We're not making
rookies.
more of these.
Nope.
Ooh, yeah. I love.
But
the
you
old
can
Bo
look
Jackson
at it.
cards.
No, I'm not getting
the rated. Oh, that's the Leaf version too.
Yeah.
But can you see the top?
Yeah. That's what's up.
That is, yeah.
It's probably a 7.
I love the design of those ones.
Yeah.
And those powder blue jerseys for the Royals.
Yeah.
Dude,
I love when they bring those back.
If this is a 10, it's worth $5,000.
Oh yeah, I love that card.
But I don't think it's a 10.
It's hard with Ken Griffey, man. He's another one that they oversaturated.
Also, these Fleers, I think they led to not being 10s. I think they were like poorly put together. It's not that nice of a card. I don't like that gray background that much.
But I found out in my research that PSA doesn't, even if the card could be a 10, they control the market. They might not want that a 10.
Yep.
Yeah, here's the
there's the Gunner. Okay.
That's a great. I love that card.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I almost want to can I get an MRI of this?
Yeah, see what's inside.
Oh man,
because there's like a Jackson Churio mini signed in this series, and there's I forget what else there is, but it's a 10 of 30, so it's like it has value of itself.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah,
it's a good looking card.
Then I was like going through my old cards and like, you look this guy up and it's like
Bill Buckner. Oh, with the Cubs.
Or maybe $3 or something.
Yep.
I never know what to do with that. I sleeve things. I always wanted to sleeve things that were $1 or more. That's what was my rule back in the old days. But now $1 is nothing.
Right.
So now I'm trying to sleeve things that are more like $3 or $5 or more.
And the market's always changing. Something that wasn't $1 tomorrow could be $5. I mean, it happens all the time. We do that in our show where we do the trends, and it's
I mean, at least you sleeve Buckner. I remember when I was a kid, I would only cards would go in pages if I actually heard of the player. And now I'm like, now I don't turn anybody away in my binders now.
I'm afraid to do that. I'm afraid to throw away cards. Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
When I was a kid, I was like, oh, it's not Ken Griffey Jr. or Alan Trammell. I'm sorry, you don't get home.
Yeah.
No, sir. You go in a shoebox.
Yeah. Or that Casey Mize that you basically want to wipe your ass with. You're like, screw
Did you
that
see that
Casey
Matt
Mize.
Manning? Matt Manning go to, was it Korea or was it Japan?
I think he went to Korea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart move. Could come
On
back
the
like
mighty
Cody
have fallen.
Palms.
I'm going to
Yeah.
white out that baseball that I paid big bucks for.
I got some agent who's mad at me about my Fromber piece today. I got to figure that out.
Oh boy.
He put a Fromber video up on YouTube and is now asking us to take out reference of it or whatever.
Oh man.
But I checked with Ken Rosenthal. I thought it was cool. So whatever. I got to deal with some blowback now. Let's see.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Very much appreciate your time. Guys, be sure to listen to him on Rates and Barrels with your co-host. Who's your co-host name again?
Derek Van Riper.
Derek Van Riper.
We also have Jed Lowry and Trevor May, who were also two guys that we would sort of talk about their play in terms of analytics and what I thought. And I don't know that I can think of anything they ever changed because of it.
Okay.
But
okay.
Fantastic.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, thanks
for
man.
having me.
Appreciate it. Like I said, we said earlier, great interview.
Great interview.
Always good to pick Eno Sarris's brain. Just a very smart man. And with that, shall we head on over to Collection Corner?
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah.
Ready to ride the next big hobby wave? Market Movers puts the entire sports card and TCG market right in your hands. With pricing on over 7 million cards powered by real sales data, including eBay, Fanatics Collect, Golden, Heritage, and more. Track your collection on mobile or desktop. Instantly see your value and P&L by sport, year, player, set, or grade. Compare any card side by side. Monitor the live price swings to spot trends early. Uncover underpriced deals. And set custom alerts so you never miss a move. With Market Movers, you turn market data into smarter buys, bigger profits, and a stronger collection. Sign up today and try it risk-free for 14 days. Plus, get 20% off for life with the promo code GONE20 at marketmoversapp.com.
Looking at my Market Movers app, Mike, I don't know if you'll probably be able to get this one because it's going to be super easy. I've really been getting into, I don't know about you, but I've been starting to catalog my collection on Market Movers and watching, just the trends. Like Teapot said, they have their featured cards that you can watch the trends on, but you can also, hand enter cards. Say you got a raw card that isn't quite, featured on there. You can hand enter those. That's actually one of these ones right here. For this guy, I'm gonna stick with my Tigers here.
Okay.
He spent his entire career with the Detroit Tigers. He's an 18-time All-Star, a 10-time Gold Glove Award winner, Roberto Clemente Award winner. He won the AL batting champion. I believe is at the ripe old age of 21 years old when he won the AL batting championship there. He's basically what you think about when you think of the Detroit Tigers. Drafted out of high school. Didn't spend a single day in the minor leagues. Just went right from the sandlots of high school right into the Brick Stadium there. And you can call him Mr. Tiger. I think a lot of people do.
We dedicated a show to him.
7 career average, 3,007 hits, 399 runs batted in. I think we talked about that one a few times, how he's one away from 400, 1,583 runs batted in. Mike, any idea who I'm talking about?
Well, it's definitely not Bobby Higginson. It is Al Kaline.
It is Al Kaline. It's not Tony Clark either. No. Or Damian Easley. Just rattle off all those 90s Tigers right there, right?
Oh, man.
It is Al Kaline. And speaking of that 1955 year, I got his 1955 Topps Al Kaline, which currently in a raw condition. Latest sales looking online via the Market Movers app, it's right around $45-50. So it's trending more in the upward collection, trajectory there. You get that card graded, then you start getting into the the $100+ range depending on your grading. So yeah, my 1955 Topps Al Kaline.
Do you think he's the greatest Tiger to ever be on the Tigers, or do you think it's Miguel?
I think it's Ty Cobb, actually, if I have to be honest.
Great pull.
I'd go with Ty Cobb. I'd go with Al Kaline second, and then I'd go with Cabrera third.
Yeah, that's a good
rank my three, and then Hank Greenberg is right up there too, I think. So.
Well,
Ty Cobb, man.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, absolutely. My guy actually is a former Tiger too, but he didn't play his whole career with the Tigers. Well, I'll give you his position. He was a left-handed pitcher, right? Good southpaw. He ended his career with 239 wins, 157 losses, a 4.13 ERA, 2,201 strikeouts. He wasn't the most liked in baseball. He's never won a Cy Young, but his years in 99 and 98 and 2000, he came close to the Cy Young. He was in the top 3 vote getters for the Cy Young, and he was actually a dark horse MVP those years. So in 98, he led the league with 246 strikeouts. In 2000, or that was in 99 and 2000. He led the league in strikeouts with 266. And this is a guy, too, that kind of a polarizing guy for the most part, right? He's played for a hell of a lot of teams. I mean, I had to actually do a double take because I never realized he played for this many teams. I'm going to rattle him off for you right now real quick.
God.
So he started his career with the Toronto Blue Jays, went to the Detroit Tigers for 2 seasons. Then he moved to the Cincinnati Reds, then the Baltimore Orioles, the New York Yankees. He played about 2 years with, a little under 2 years. The Toronto Blue Jays, Chicago. He went back to the Toronto Blue Jays, the Chicago White Sox, back with the New York Yankees for 2 seasons, San Diego Padres, Boston Red Sox. He said, you know what? I miss it. I miss California. I'm going to go to the Padres. Padres had enough of them for 2 seasons. And he's like, you know what? I want to see if the Dodgers want a little piece of me.
My God.
3-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion. He's won the World Series in 92 and 98. ALCS MVP in 98, which was one of his better seasons. 98, 99, 2000, really good seasons. AL wins leader in 2000. And he actually pitched a perfect game, which when the teammates held him up, I thought they were going to collapse from holding his fat ass. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. He, I believe he also didn't he wear Babe Ruth's hat or something during a game, and I think he had to take it off after like an inning or something.
He had a lot of backlash for that.
Yeah. Good old David Wells. Yeah,
David Wells, man. Yeah, a very polarizing. He was Kurt Schilling before Kurt Schilling.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess he was a dickhead. I remember watching the Captain ESPN documentary. It was funny because David Wells, when he first got to New York, there was this part that they were talking about the documentary where he dropped, or where a fielder dropped a ball, and David Wells was just visibly upset. And Derek Jeter's like, I don't like that very much. And he goes to David Wells, he's like, yeah, we don't do that here. We don't make faces and be all pissed off when one of our teammates doesn't do something.
Wow. Jeez.
Basically put him in his fucking place.
That's great. The captain puts David Wells in his place.
I dug into my Market Movers app as I'm also putting my collection in there. It's been a tough go at it because it's a lot. But I ended up seeing in here, I actually don't have this card. I was going to pick another card, but this one, once I saw the comparisons on the Market Movers app, I thought, man, I got to get this card if it's available. And it's the 2025 Leaf Spectacular Authentic Signatures Blue David Wells Auto. A really good looking card, dude. Nice. Really, really good looking card. Kind of has a cosmic kind of like font to it. And I just like what Leaf put out. It's not going for a lot. I mean, most of them go between $30 and $40. I mean, it's David Wells. I mean, we ain't talking, you know what I mean? We ain't talking Pedro Martinez. Right?
I was going to say, yeah. We're not talking big bucks. It's David Wells here.
Yeah,
right?
So that's my Market Movers pick for this week.
That's awesome, man. I love Market Movers. You know, I've been dabbling not just in baseball, but my basketball cards are actually quite pricey too. So
yeah,
I'm really enjoying it. And like Teapot said, looking at trying to sneak in and get like steals before they take off and stuff. Just looking at cards where are down a little bit, but they might take off. So been really enjoying the app, and happy to have Market Movers as part of our team here in Long Gone.
Part of our yeah, it's good having him as teammates. He's kind of when he went last week with or a couple weeks ago when he was going through the app, it was pretty spectacular. It was like, wow, holy detailed Batman. It was almost overwhelming how detailed it was. But once you lock in, it's like this is like really fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. With that, shall we get the candles out and celebrate a birthday?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, looking online at this guy, checking out, market movers and looking at the trends on this guy, I found a really nice 1957 Topps number 40 from his time with the Cleveland Indians, going for about a little over $8, and that's Early Win. It's a happy heavenly birthday to Cleveland Guardians great and Hall of Famer Early Win, born on January the 6th of 1920. Career 300 wins exactly in his career with a 3.54 ERA and 2,334 career strikeouts. Started his career with the Washington Senators, then went to the Cleveland Indians, then the Chicago White Sox, then back to the Cleveland Indians for a year in his pursuit of 300. He was a 9-time All-Star, a Cy Young Award winner in 1959, a 2-time MLB wins leader, AL ERA leader, 2-time AL strikeout leader, Cleveland Guardians Hall of Fame, as well as the Washington Nationals Ring of Honor, inducted in the Hall of Fame in 1972 on his 4th ballot. A little trivia on Early is he was the first player to pitch at least 23 seasons in the major leagues, and he appeared in games over 4 decades.
Love it. We never talk about Early Win.
No, not at all. I mean, him and Bob Belly, they had a scary rotation there with the Indians there in that, stretch in the late 40s there into the 50s, man.
Yeah.
Killer.
Well, happy birthday, you dusty son of a bitch.
Exactly.
I don't know where that came from, but I just wanted to say it.
It works.
No, that's a fucking show.
Good show, man. Good show.
Yeah, we're we got some more guys coming for guests and stuff, and we got a big year underway for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Looking forward to
absolutely
all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah. But in the meantime, guys, have a great week. And we'll catch you all hopefully with some more news next week.
Yeah. Deuces.